So you mentioned Yuval Noah Harari, and he's one of my favorites. There's actually this excerpt from Sapiens, chapter 12, where he talks about Buddhism, and I want to read this excerpt to you because it's really good. It really distills it down. He says, at the age of 29, Siddhartha Gautama, who would later become the Buddha, slipped away from his palace in the middle of the night, leaving behind his family and possessions. He traveled as a homeless vagabond throughout India, searching for a way out of suffering. He visited ashrams and sat at the feet of gurus, but nothing liberated him entirely. Some dissatisfaction always remained. He did not despair, however. He resolved to investigate suffering on his own until he found some method of complete liberation. So he spent the next 6 years meditating on the essence and causes and cures for human anguish. In the end, he came to the realization that suffering is not caused by bad fortune or by social injustice or by divine whims. Rather, suffering is caused by one's own mind. Gautama's insight was that no matter what the mind experiences, it usually reacts with craving and clinging. And that craving always involves some sort of dissatisfaction. So when the mind experiences something distasteful, it craves to be rid of that irritation. But even when the mind experiences something pleasant, that is dissatisfactory too, or unsatisfactory too, because it craves that the pleasure will remain or even intensify. Therefore, the mind is always dissatisfied no matter what, and is always restless. And this is clear when we experience unpleasant things, such as pain. As long as the pain endures, we are dissatisfied and we will do anything to avoid it. Yet even when we experience something pleasant, we're still not content because we either fear that the pleasure will disappear or we hope that it will intensify. Gautama found that there was a way to exit this vicious circle of suffering. If, when the mind experiences something either pleasant or unpleasant, it simply understands things as they are, then there is no suffering. If you experience sadness without craving that the sadness go away, you continue to feel the sadness, but you don't suffer from it anymore. There can actually be richness even to the experience of sadness. It's got its own flavor and texture. And if you experience joy without craving that joy linger or intensify, then you continue to allow that joy to wash over you without losing your peace of mind. But how do you get the mind to accept things as they are like this without clinging and craving and desiring, to accept sadness as sadness and joy as joy and pain as pain? Gautama developed a set of meditation techniques to experience reality as it is without craving. And these practices train the mind to focus all the attention on the question, what am I experiencing right now, rather than what would I rather be experiencing? Buddha taught us that suffering arises from craving, and the only way to be fully liberated from suffering is to be fully liberated from craving. And the only way to be liberated from craving is to train the mind to experience reality just as it is. Buddhists are often accused of atheism, but Buddhism doesn't exactly deny the existence of gods or ancestors across the veil, and powerful beings even, who can help bring about blessings on this side of the veil. But it's true that the question a Buddhist is likely to ask isn't, how can I please God and live according to his laws? But instead, how can I work to eliminate craving and desire and suffering? That's the foremost question on the Buddhist's mind. The gods and ancestors of Buddhism have no influence on the law that suffering arises from desire. If the mind of a person is free of all craving, then no God can make him miserable. But conversely, once craving arises in a person's mind, all the gods in the universe wouldn't be enough to save him from his suffering.